Hello, it's been a very, very long time, and I apologize. This is me, Elaine. I am Elaine Maxeb on Ravelry. You can find me as Elaine Tom on Instagram, and you can find me as Nabiwul Studio on Etsy, and I'm on Twitter and Facebook also. But anyway, the last episode I filmed was, I think, in January. And I've wanted to come back many, many times, but something always happens. And it's very easy for me to make excuses for why I cannot do this. Today I was going to skip it again because I'm extremely tired, but here I am anyway. So forgive me if I am a little bit all over the place and I forget things and I'm out of practice. So lots has happened since January. For one, we all got COVID on February 1st. We were excited because February 1st is Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year, and we were going to go out to eat for the first time in a long time and celebrate. But of course, then all of a sudden we realized we weren't feeling very well, and we had tested several times, but it always came out negative. But finally, on that day, we tested positive. And so all four of us had very different symptoms, which also made it very difficult to realize what we had. So, and I am triple boosted. Basically, I had my vaccine, then I had the booster, then I had the second booster. I think several weeks before I got it. So I don't know if it made it less severe because of that, but we all, the three of us had 3 shots, and my youngest only had 1 shot because it was only available very recent before he got COVID. So we survived. Some of it lingered for some of us for a while, but we did survive. And then all kinds of other things in life happened. I had my second surgery on my elbow in June and got most of the metal out. There's still metal in there. It's definitely a bit more comfortable, although I do think that I have some nerve issues. But I do have full use of my arm. It's not as strong as it used to be, but and it's a little bit prettier now. The scar is a little bit better than it was before. But so I had that surgery, and I was in the hospital for 2 days, 1 day. Anyway, and then summer came along, and we went to Ibiza. And that was a first-time trip. We went to Italy again, to our normal place where it's a camping / bungalow place that we go to every year. And we did that. And then school started, and a friend, my knitting bestie, my bestie anyway, even without knitting, we went to Oslo and sort of had our own knitting festival. We went to all the yarn stores possible in that week and shopped like crazy and ate and enjoyed our time without having to worry about taking care of our kids. And that was loads of fun. And then came back for a few weeks and just came back from Iceland on Saturday. And that was another dream trip also. Got to see a couple of yarn stores, not that many. Went to amazing places and saw beautiful waterfalls. And the one thing that I really wanted to see was the Northern Lights, and I saw them twice. The last night was a bit more fantastic, but both were really wonderful. And then I saw, I think the day after we left, the Northern Lights were incredible. But anyway, I hope one day again I will go back and see more. So this episode will be probably shorter, not that mine are ever that long. But there's all kinds of noises going on. My neighbors are tromping around and there's construction going on and stuff like that. So I'm sorry about all the noises outside. I guess I'm not feeling the best right now. My throat is a little weird, so I might sound a little, I don't know, croaky. But I've had a lot of finished objects for this year. I think I'm getting close to 40 sweaters. I have also done a bunch of, I did, I think, at least one sample knit and a lot of secret tests. So there's a lot of things that you guys have not seen yet. And I managed to fit in some fun projects outside of chest knitting for myself. When my friend and I went to Norway, we went to Oslo, we decided, well, we have to do a petite knit design. We didn't do the Oslo, but we both decided to do the holiday slipover. And she, as always does, finish things way before I do. But I didn't finish mine on the trip, but I made the holiday slipover, and I used Hillesvåg, I think Troll, and held it with House of Yarn. I can't remember. Fairy Tale, House of Yarn Fairy Tale with it, and I love it. I did the extra small, and I decided to do twisted rib on mine, and I wear it all the time. Then when I came back, I decided, well, every girl needs a black one, so I made a black one, and I used Schnefnug from Camarose, held with, it's called Our Yarn, that I bought a long time ago from Fringe. And it's over, under, repeat, I think is what hour stands for. And it's super soft, super comfortable, goes with everything. And yeah, with my very graphic skirt there. It's warm. I wear it over t-shirts, I wear it over tank tops, I wear it over dresses, skirts, whatever. So that's something, and I think there might be more in my future. I have some other fun yarns that I think I might want to knit them in. So I can't show a lot of my finished objects because they're put away and stuff like that. And some of them are secret that I have not put away. And but I'll show you some recent ones that I have that have been on Instagram. So this is the Celine, and it's from Teti from, is it Teti Knits Garden? I'm sorry, I can't remember. Anyway, this is knitted with Blacker Yarns Cornish. It's their birthday yarn from 2 years ago or last year, I can't remember. And then I held it with my hand spun from Spinweb's Tube as my contrast. It was a lot brighter before I washed it, and so some of the colors sort of I guess washed out a little, and so it's not as vivid as it was, but it's still beautiful. And I was really happy to use my hand spun because I have quite a bit of hand spun, and I was always afraid to use it. I always felt it was not good enough to use, and now I'm finding it really fun. And then another one that is really a favorite of mine is this. When I saw it posted from Tanya Barley of Woolbarrow Knits. This is the Heartwood sweater. And I knit this in Italy, and it was extremely hot. It was close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, most days, and it was very windy, so it was a little difficult to knit mohair with my BC Garn Similipura, I think is the yarn. So one of them is this black, it was marled, and then there was this oatmeal color, and then I have held it with this oatmealish mohair was from Kremke, and then the black I think is Lana Grossa. You can find all the notes on my pattern page in Ravelry if you use Ravelry, and it's also in my Instagram post. Something that has not come out yet but will come out soon. I think she said the 27th maybe of October, but it's the end of this month. This is the Perseid sweater, and I'm not going to show you all of it. It is from Lotta from Elk Market on Instagram. So this is a sweater that will come out in the collection from Fiber Company, and I used some Rowan hemp tweed as the contrast, and the mane is BC Garn Hamilton Tweed 1, I believe. So there is color work, there's pearl stuff on the color work, there's corrugated rib. It's really beautiful, and it actually is much more impressive on than it looks here. I don't know if I guess you'll see when I post the finish when the pattern is released. So I am under test knit craziness. Every single time I take on a test knit, I say to myself, I'm gonna slow down. I want to knit all these other things that I have in my Ravelry library, in my actual library. I have loads and loads of knitting books and current magazines and stuff like that, and patterns I've purchased that I really want to make. But then something always comes out, and then I have to make it, and I have to try to fit everything in. And I have to say that lately I have fallen a little behind. I've tried to become more monogamous because basically what happens is the deadlines are quick, and I try to finish whichever one has the closest deadline. And so I used to take on, I guess, a little bit less that had, and I had a larger time or more time within the deadline so that I can cast on several things and keep showing everyone different things. But lately, because the deadlines are getting tighter and tighter for me, I have only been able to try to knit one or two things at a time. And so it's sort of slowed down my Instagram feed because of not having enough content to show everyone. But so I finished the daily sweater this morning. I was going to try to finish it last night, but I just couldn't do it. As I've said over and over again, I am really slow when it comes to ribbing. I love how ribbing looks, and if I could rib away and make hems and cuffs gigantically long and whatever, I would. And I always intend to do that when I first start. But then as I'm going, I decide, oh, now I'm close enough to finished. Now I think this is enough ribbing. And last night, I think I got to at least 5 centimeters, and it was killing me. And I thought, I cannot do one more row. It was over 200 stitches, and it was twisted rib, and it was small, and it was tight, and it was late, and I was running out of yarn anyway, so I was trying to determine how much yarn I had before I was not going to have enough to bind off with. And at the end, I guess I could have still finished a few more rows, but I think overall 1 or 2 more rows would not have made much of a difference in the finished project. So I did finish this morning with my bind off. I did on the sleeve cuffs, I did the tubular bind off, and on the neck, I did the tubular cast on. But on the hem, I decided that the Italian bind off was enough, and it looks good. But that took, I think, close to 3 hours for me to bind off. So I wouldn't have been able to do it last night. I was exhausted, and I think I'm still tired from staying up to do it last night. I finally gave up and said, you can do this in the morning, you still meet the deadline. And now, of course, it's fairly warm outside still. I went out without a jacket with just my slip over, and I was fine walking around, but there is hardly any sun, even though it looks like it's sunny right now through the shadows on the wall and stuff. But I'm hoping that it dries fairly quickly, but it's knit with Brooklyn Tweed Loft and my mohair, so it's actually quite thick, and I don't think it's going to dry anytime soon. I think the kits are being released on the 22nd from whichever yarn company she used, but the actual design will come out November 7th. So I hope that it's dry in time by the 22nd, but it'll definitely be dry in time for the release on the 7th of November. But you'll probably see, I'm not sure if I'll show you the finish, but you've seen enough snippets of it on Instagram to see what it looks like. So I have to say, I think it looks amazing. The design is beautiful. It was worth the time put into it, even though as I was doing it, it was sort of killing me. It was starting to hurt my elbow and my wrist, but I got through it at the end. So today I am still working on a preview knit that should be coming out in a couple of weeks, so I can't show that. But I decided that because I finished that other sweater, I need to cast on something else because I have enough things to work on that need to be worked on. So I decided to use my hand dyed for this one. I had several different options for this sweater, but at the end I thought I'm going to have a lot of fun, be bold, and cast on to draw from Couvive. And I am using this. This is my hand dyed. It's a Corridel Aran weight. So it's gorgeous. It's bright. And one part of it will be held with mohair. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do this or use something else. I have other options that I will look at when I get closer to that section. So this is knit from the bottom up. So I've cast on, I've started the setup row. So it is a bulky sweater. It's, I think, 15 stitches for 10 centimeters, 15 or 16. So it should go quickly, and hopefully I will show progress very soon on it. And I'm excited to have this. And I will be casting on, I've cast on and shown on Instagram the Espresso Moon test knit that I'm working on for this Bird Knits, and all of that yarn used in that sweater is from Oslo and from Fruquist, which I bought, the yarn store which I bought them from, which I went to I think at least 3 times within my 6 days there. I've always wanted to try Pernilla, and there was something else also from Phil Kalana that I wanted to try, but that was definitely one of them. So I got that, and I am knitting it with Tilia from Vilcalana also. It's a mohair. So you can find that on Instagram, and soon I will show more progress on that. Let's see what else. So basically, I would love to hear from you guys what you would like to hear about from me, and I can start doing episodes with questions and answers. And then I will also have a yarn review coming up. Someone has contacted me and will be sending me some yarn to review, and I'm looking forward to doing that also. I have lots of products that I use, and I would love to give you my opinions on a lot of these things. Also, if you guys want to know about any of these things, which needles I use, some of my favorite yarns, and all of those things for upcoming episodes. Life is a little bit crazy as always, but soon my husband will be back in an office. He is starting a new job on the 1st of November. So that will give me a little time by myself so that I can make these podcasts. Part of the reason why I haven't been making podcasts is that basically there's always someone at home, and I am very self-conscious about talking to myself on a computer in front of other people. So that will free up some time for me to do podcasts more regularly, and hopefully you guys want to watch it. What else is happening? The school situation has changed with my kids. My older one now is coming home every day for lunch. He used to basically only come home on Wednesdays, but now he switched schools and he comes home every day at lunchtime. So my day's broken up again. The younger one actually, in our area, there's day school. We were the first to do the trial of day school. This is the second year, and he's in 5th now, so he's in school 4 days for full days, and Wednesday all the kids here are free in the afternoon. But so I thought maybe I would have more time, but now since the older one has switched schools and he's coming home every day, I actually have less time again. So hopefully I can still fit everything in. And I would love to know what you guys would love to hear about, talk about with me, or hear from me. And I don't know. I am hoping that I can work it out, which I always say, to come back here more regularly and try to do these on a schedule of some sort. I think that's the easiest way for me to make sure I do it if I set up a schedule. But for now, I think this is maybe all over the place, but good for me to get back onto this and onto some sort of schedule and get back into practice and hopefully make sense. And yeah, it's just very complicated for me just because I am someone that is constantly doing all kinds of things and finds all kinds of reasons not to sit down. And also, it's not easy for me to look at myself. And when I do these, I have to stare at myself. And being a single podcaster makes it a little difficult because it really is just me talking to my imagination of all of you guys out there. And I'm a pretty self-conscious person also, so all of this is just, it's rough. But I love to hear back from you guys. It really is very important to me to know that you guys want to watch this and that you guys want to interact, and I'm always very happy when there are comments. So to help this channel, please subscribe if you don't. Please give me a thumbs up and please comment, and hope that I'll come back more regularly. Thank you. Bye.